Once you have all of your research done and all of the comments or questions that I'd asked you are answered or added into your report, then you are ready to start your final draft. And you are then going to have the final draft slides on your slideshow. And I've decided for them to be put at the beginning of your slideshow because it makes the most sense since this is your final copy. You are going to see that there is a slide for each section of your world leader's life that we have been filling in so far, as well as the fun facts and the timeline. There will also be a slide about editing, which we'll do last if we still have time. So I'm going to kind of walk us through how we're going to turn our sentences and our facts into a paragraph. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to start at the beginning. And so that would be the beginning of your world leader's life, which is their childhood. And then you're going to read through the facts. Okay, you want them to be in order. So the first thing you need to do is to make sure, if they're not, I would recommend rearranging them. So that way, when you refer back to your notes as you're writing your sentences, you are not losing your spot or putting them in the wrong order, because we are really creating a biography of this person's life, and a biography has to have all of the events in order. It wouldn't make sense for me to write a biography about my life, starting with when I went to college, then going into when I was a baby, then going to when I'm a teacher, then going into when I was a high school and when I went to grad school after that. So it doesn't make sense for me to jump around. So they have to be in order. When I was a baby, high school, college, started teaching, getting my master's degree. So first thing I'm going to look at my childhood is I'm going to make sure my facts are in order. Now, I don't have a lot of dates, but I should be able to recognize, oh yeah, she was born before she went to school, right? And things like that. So here I have, she was born in New York City and her birthday is this date. Those two will go together. Her parents were Anna and Elliot. Her full name is Anna Eleanor. They're wealthy. She's awkward. Eleanor's parents and a brother died. That happened before she moved in with her grandmother. She was tutored. Oh, and it looks like I have that fact in there twice, so I'm going to delete that. Age 15, she attended Allensworth. I have a fact about her headmistress. Oh, and then she was tutored before going to England. So this fact right here should go before she is age 15 and in boarding school. So I'm going to hit Control C, or I'm going to right click and hit copy. And then I'm going to put my cursor there in, make a new line, and then hit Control V, or right click, paste. Now you might have a different device that you are using. That might be different. So have your parents help you. How do you copy and paste things? Because that's also going to be helpful when we do the timeline. So I've read through my childhood and now I need to turn those facts into sentences. So the first sentence has to be about her being born. I need a subject, a who or what the sentence is about, and it is about Eleanor Roosevelt. I need a verb, and I need a predicate, the rest of my sentence. So the very first thing about my world leader is that she was born. So I'm going to hit the tab button to indent Eleanor. And I'm not sure if the actual year was 1884, so now I'm going to go back to my slide with my notes. And I know this is going to be difficult to go back and forth, so if you and your parents can figure out a different way, then share it with me if you want, or just do it however works for you. All right, and it is 1884, so that is correct. So now I'm going to go back. Eleanor Roosevelt was born on October 11, 1884 in New York. And I'm making sure that I have my periods, my capitals for my proper nouns. So Eleanor, Roosevelt, October, and New York are all proper nouns, specific people, specific times, and a specific place. Her parents. Okay. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to just kind of see. And now I also like to use my highlighter tool. So I'm going to just see here. I said that her parents were Anna and Elliot. I did her birthday. I did when she was born. And then up here is the highlighter. And that's telling me, and just pick any color, that I've already used those facts. So I won't repeat them if I have to come back to this. And I also had that she was wealthy. I didn't include that her real name was Anna Eleanor Roosevelt. So I think I'm going to go back and I will do that too. All right, so I am all done typing what I had in her childhood, but I'm going to just double check and go back and make sure I included all of the facts that I want to include. Now, as you noticed, my paragraph was quite full, so it's up to you if you are able to include and want to include every single detail that you wrote in your notes. And we'll talk about that in a second. So, I said that they both died, so I'm going to highlight that. I also changed my words a little bit about the pretty like her mother, and that's fine, but I used that fact. I also added in that she went to England and was tutored. So I'm going to highlight that I did that. And Maria Silvestri. Now I'm going to copy and paste. So I'm going to hit Control C or right click, copy, because I want to make sure I'm not misspelling her name, because if I'm misspelling a name, then that means my research is not very great. Now my words are getting cut off, so I'm going to just move this over to the side so it's out of my way. And then I'm going to hit right click on my mouse and hit paste. And it is going to turn into a different font. So I'm going to have to change my font, or I'm going to have to just type it in and then delete what I copied and pasted. So it's all the same font because we want our words to be in the same font. We want it to be legible, which means I can read it or others can easily read it. Like how to be kind and help others and stand up for what is right. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read it. I'm noticing there's some words that are underlined in red, and those are the words that I need to edit and make sure that they are spelled correctly. And remember, this is all in the past tense, so my verb should be in the past. Eleanor Roosevelt was, that's in the past. Born on October 11, 1884 in New York. Her parents were, that's in the past. Anna and Elliot Roosevelt. Now, I could also right click and see what is spelled incorrectly. Now, I don't know why or if it is with two T's or not, so I'm going to highlight it and that way I'm going to come back to it. They were wealthy. Eleanor's real name was Anna Eleanor Roosevelt, but people just called her Eleanor. She didn't have a good relationship with her mother. She wasn't as pretty as her mother and struggled with that. Now, I think I'm actually going to delete that. I don't know if that's really important right now, and I can't figure out how to word that so it doesn't sound as bad. So her mother died when she was 8, and I think I could actually combine these sentences and say, and her father died when she was 10 after her parents' deaths. And now this should actually be S and then an apostrophe because it was both parents and their deaths. The deaths belong to both her parents. She and her brother Gracie Hall, and that should be capitalized because that is a proper noun, went to live with her grandmother. She was tutored rather than going to school. At age 15, she did go to a boarding school in England. She learned a lot. Now, a lot is actually two words, so I need a space between a and lot from her headmistress. Now, this word is also spelled incorrectly, and I don't know how to spell it. So if I'm on a computer, I can right click and it might pop up at the top. Do you mean? Careful though, those are not always accurate. So make sure you ask your parents for help. Headmistress Marie Silvestri, like how to be kind. And I'm going to delete this and put a comma there instead. Help others, comma, because that's a list, and stand up for what is right. Now I can also add in pictures that fit. Now we already did the work of finding the pictures, right? So I'm going to find the pictures that look the most like our childhood. And if I can't find one, maybe I need to search. Now this one is her and her father. So I'm going to right click, copy, or actually I forgot about this. You can also go up here and edit and hit copy. I'm going to scroll back up to that slide. And now I'm going to paste, edit, paste. And I can put it in here and I can use these boxes to make it bigger or smaller. And that's the only one I have so far, so I'm going to leave it just as big as it is. Then once I'm all done with this box, I can delete it. And I'm going to go through the adult life, the achievements, and all of the sections of it and create a paragraph, add in the pictures. For here, add in my paragraph, add in my pictures, add in my paragraph, add in my pictures. and then it will be all done. And I will go ahead and make some more videos about some other slides, but I wanted to give you a little bit of what you're doing so you can get started right away.